Unfortunately, I have some bad news. Layoffs are coming. Yes, some already started, but I don't think they were all across the board. But yesterday, now that we know for sure that the Federal Reserve, which is the US Central Bank, is committed to, go back in history and try to do what, the last Federal Reserve chairman did when we had high inflation in the US, which was around the 70s and the 80s, and that guy was Paul Volcker. I guess now is really time to face reality, all right? Because when you look at things that Jerome Powell said yesterday, this is the Federal Reserve, they predict a big slowdown in the economy. This is something I shared with you guys yesterday. And rising unemployment as it battles inflation. In other words, the only tool they have to fight inflation, despite everything else happening around the globe, is to pretty much increase interest rates and to keep increasing interest rates, even if it means breaking the entire economy. And yesterday they told us that, that's pretty much what we need to do. That's what they need to do because inflation is not going back down as quickly as they want, which I'm not think is the right reason. I mean, the right tool is to increase interest rates, but by doing so, they will get into the danger zone. And the danger zone is a slowing economy that will curb hiring and induce more layoffs as businesses try to are facing also slower sales, and everybody's trying to, save cost. So since the beginning of this year, we had some of the tech companies, your Coinbase, your Tesla, these guys said we are, reducing our, corporate staff, but it wasn't crazy numbers. But today we had FedEx. FedEx came out and said we need to save up to $2.4 billion. Usually, when a company has to save that much money, it has to go through layoffs. Now, FedEx is a company that is employing a lot of people in the US. And now the concern is, if FedEx is already trying to save that much money, what about the Walmart? What about the USPS? What about, the UPS? What about all of these other companies that are also hiring a big chunk of people here in the US? Because everybody else is having now their eyes around whether or not the recession is going to be deeper than expected. Because if it is, the first sign around the recession is people losing their jobs. So again, as the Fed is already sending clear signals that, hey, if this is what we need to do, then this is what we are going to do, then we might start preparing. Again, this might look scary. And I'm not trying to scare people out. No, this is not my style here on my channel. This is not the style here over here. The style here is to get ahead of stuff, events that may happen or come in the future, because whenever we are getting ahead of ourselves, then we can get better prepared so that when it happens, we are not in big trouble. All right? So get ready to have more companies coming out and trying to save costs because they don't want to end up being scrapping for money, because money is going to be a lot more expensive to get at the bank, because interest rate increasing means, credit card, the servicing debt, interest rate when you want to get money from the bank, whether it's just for, a corporate, a person, buy a car, buy a house, student loan, everything's going to be a lot more expensive. So companies are going to try to avoid that by, saving some money, cutting costs. All right. Now, how can you prepare? Well, I've been doing this since the beginning of this year. First thing is, I really trying not to buy big stuff now, even if I have the money. All right. I was already starting to save as any dollar as I could since the beginning of this year, but now I'm even more intentional, So I'm trying to really save on the expense I'm doing. Right now, I'm really focusing on just the essentials. So if it's not a bill, then I'm really thinking twice before I allocate that money there. The second thing is, if you follow my channel, you know that I don't have any debt as of currently. I don't have a mortgage. I don't have a student loan. I don't have a car payment. I don't have anything. All right. So I'm really trying to keep up with that. All right. Now I'm planning on maybe buying a house. That will be something a little bit different there because if it's a must. But nothing else. So the reason why I'm doing that is because one of the ways into getting a lot more money in order to maneuver or go through hard time financially that may come, as we just went through and discussed, is I want to save as much as I can. So in order to save as much as I can, you can start by saving money, which is stop spending money where you don't need to spend money, and that's what I just described. The second thing is I need to make money in order to have more income so that my savings on top of my expense being limited will give me more wiggle room in the amount of money I can save on a monthly, weekly, quarterly basis, just to stack that money. All right. So I'm finding everything I could, so I got a raise. I asked for a raise. Maybe I will just make a video in order to show you how I did that. I got a raise, a significant raise last month, so that helps, And then I'm trying to get as any other side hustle as I can, and that's the reason why I think I mentioned this yesterday with you guys. I'm going to start posting videos on side hustle, part-time jobs, second jobs you can do, pick up, on the side, whether they're online or not, but that are going to add, extra money at the end of the week, at the end of the month, so that we can start piling that money in order to have a big emergency fund in case we are part of those people that are either laid off, or we can also use that money to make more money when we get to the other side of this thing. All right. When inflation backs down and everything regarding the economy is not, people fearing inflation and companies start hiring in mass again, then some of the moves we did now with that money we're saving will start making money for us while we're sleeping. And ultimately, that's how you build wealth. That's how you add a zero to your net worth. And that's how, you make money while you're sleeping, which is the ultimate goal when it comes to getting, not having to worry about money at all. So, yeah.